My name is Matt Meyer. I'm the chairman of the board at Mobas. I'm a lawyer by background, and I spent most of my early career advising technology and innovation businesses on strategic projects, and my clients were around the world. I have a lot of exposure to the US market and also the Far East. Today, I'm chief executive of an international law firm, and as well as being the chairman of Mobas, I'm also the chairman of a technology business in the artificial intelligence space. Well, my relationship with Mobas started as a client, in fact a very happy client, and Mobas took my business through a brand transformation project, although back in those days we didn't call it that, but the kernel of the current proposition was very much there. And it was a fascinating project for me as a business leader because, as well as revolutionising the market position of my business, it created a unity and a confidence inside the business which drove growth almost immediately. The commercial impact of what we'd done was very significant, and that stuck with me. In terms of what attracted me to the chairman role, I saw a business that was looking at some strategic decisions in a very dynamic, volatile and interesting market. And I thought I could bring my experience of dealing with strategic change to a business that was really positive and really focused on adapting to those changes. Look, all of those experiences in the early part of my career help you form an intuition about what are the right things to focus the board on and what are the right priorities to look at. But they also give you a confidence to ask some of the more difficult questions around the boardroom table that frankly need to be asked in a business that's changing very rapidly. So apart from bringing that experience of the wider world, my businesses and also the clients I've supported, I also just bring some perspective from not being stuck in the weeds of the day-to-day management of the business. I've seen the impact of brand transformation as a client, and I think that gives me a really clear perspective on what it means for clients when we're taking that proposition out to the market. Businesses need all sorts of professional services, but they need them in context. So the challenge for a successful professional services business is to take their technical and professional skills out of isolation and to put them into a business context. For me, that's exactly what Mobas are doing. Mobas starts with the question, what needs to be achieved, and importantly, why? Doesn't start with how we're going to do the project, it starts with why we're doing the project, and that's a key differentiator in the market. Once we've established that strategic objective, we can then bring in all of the talents and skills that fall in behind that objective. So starting with strategy is key. But what does that mean for clients? Well, for me, it creates a much better insight into what the business is trying to achieve, and that means better outcomes. And importantly, from the business perspective, that means better value, and that's got to be the key in any successful business. Better value, better outcomes. So I think the starting point is that Mobas doesn't have a strategy which is purely about growth. Growth will be a consequence of us being successful, being really good at what we do, being the leading brand transformation agency. So growth is not what we're pursuing. What we're pursuing is excellence. And the key to that for me is having a very clear strategy that everyone within the business understands, strong alignment around that strategy, and I think most importantly, a culture that supports that strategy. This is the journey that we've embarked on. The important thing for Mobas is that it's made a bold and clear decision about where it wants to position itself in the market. It's communicated that to its clients, and it's also started to build a culture which supports that internally. So it's a really dynamic and interesting market. We're definitely seeing polarization. We're seeing commodity-based players in a race to the bottom, frankly, and we're seeing an increasing number of focused or differentiated agencies creating a higher margin space at the top of the market. We're also seeing that technology and data are playing a much greater part in what the more strategic agencies are doing, and this for me is a really interesting aspect of where the market's going. And in fact, at Mobas we've been exploring some of the opportunities that a greater focus on behavioural science and behavioural analytics play in informing the campaigns that we advise clients on. So I think we'll see more smart agencies, if I can call them that, who are using data-driven insights and technology to create much more focused programs and campaigns for their clients. I also think that creativity will be a much more valuable commodity. I think creativity and an agency's particular brand of creativity will help differentiate in the market. So I see creativity as a valuable commodity and a valuable differentiator for agencies. I think we'll see less geographical focus, less geographical specialism, and I think we'll see more thematic-based agencies. So really the theme there is about focus. That's a really exciting market, and Mobas is well positioned to take advantage of those changes. If we ask clients at the end of a successful project what they enjoyed most about working with Mobas, they'll tell us that we came in and we spent time understanding what they were looking to achieve. And that for me is the foundation of any successful project. Mobas also brings creativity, and it brings creativity throughout all of the activities that it supports its clients with, not just in design and artwork. And we have a range of talents which can fall into a project. Projects aren't passed between different departments and different functions, and they are all set around a central strategy of a well-controlled and delivered project. That's what clients need, and that's what clients feed back to us as being important outcomes. As a customer, my experience was that Mobas did a great job of making it look quite simple. Having come into the organisation, I really understand the complexity of what's done, the talent that's required to deliver on a project, and the sheer effort that's needed to deal with what are sometimes quite difficult and demanding customers. We really need to get that value across to our customers more, because I think it's something they'll appreciate and understand.